Hey everyone, welcome back to Ella's School. Today, we're talking about professional interviews in English teacher, how to prepare, what to expect, and how to impress your potential employer. Let's dive in.
Can you tell us about your teaching background?
I have been teaching English for over 5 years in various educational settings, including public schools and private language centers. I hold a degree in English language teaching and have completed a TEFL certification. My teaching experience includes working with students of different ages and proficiency levels, from young learners to adults. I have developed a range of engaging lesson plans that cater to diverse learning styles and needs, helping students achieve their language goals effectively.
What teaching methodologies do you prefer to use?
I primarily use a communicative language teaching (CLT) approach, as it encourages students to use the language in real-life contexts. I believe that interaction and communication are crucial for language acquisition. Additionally, I incorporate elements of task-based learning where students complete meaningful tasks that require the use of language. I also use a blend of traditional methods, such as direct instruction for grammar, alongside modern techniques like technology-enhanced learning to create a dynamic classroom environment.
How do you assess student progress?
I assess student progress through a combination of formative and summative assessments. Formative assessments include quizzes, class participation, and informal observations during activities. These help me gauge understanding and provide immediate feedback. Summative assessments, such as end-of-unit tests or projects, allow me to evaluate overall progress. I also believe in self-assessment, encouraging students to reflect on their learning and set personal goals for improvement.
How do you handle classroom management?
Effective classroom management is essential for creating a positive learning environment. I establish clear expectations and rules at the beginning of the course and reinforce them consistently. I use a variety of strategies to engage students, such as interactive activities and group work, which minimize disruptive behavior. If issues arise, I address them calmly and privately, seeking to understand the underlying cause. Building strong relationships with students also fosters respect and cooperation in the classroom.
What techniques do you use to engage students?
To engage students, I incorporate a variety of activities that cater to different learning styles. For example, I use multimedia resources like videos and music to make lessons more dynamic. I also integrate games and role-playing activities to make learning fun and interactive. Group discussions and peer teaching encourage collaboration and communication. Additionally, I try to connect lessons to students' interests and real-world experiences, which helps maintain their motivation and enthusiasm for learning.
How do you differentiate instruction for students with varying abilities?
Differentiating instruction is key to meeting the needs of all students. I assess students' proficiency levels and learning styles at the beginning of the course. Based on this information, I provide a range of activities that cater to different abilities. For example, I might offer advanced students more challenging reading materials or projects, while providing additional support and simplified resources for those who need it. Grouping students for collaborative tasks also allows peers to support each other's learning effectively.
Can you describe a successful lesson you've taught?
One of my most successful lessons was a unit on storytelling. I introduced the concept of narrative structure and provided examples of different genres. Students then worked in pairs to create their own stories, incorporating vocabulary and grammar we had studied. They presented their stories to the class using props and visuals, which added an engaging element. The students were highly motivated, and their creativity flourished. The lesson not only reinforced language skills, but also built confidence in their speaking abilities.
What role does technology play in your teaching?
Technology plays a significant role in my teaching approach. I use various tools such as interactive whiteboards, educational apps, and online resources to enhance lessons. For example, I incorporate platforms like Kahoot for quizzes that promote engagement and immediate feedback. Additionally, I encourage students to use language learning apps for independent practice outside of class. Technology not only makes learning more interactive, but also prepares students for a world that increasingly relies on digital communication.
How do you incorporate culture into your lessons?
Incorporating culture into language lessons is essential for providing context and relevance. I introduce cultural topics related to English speaking countries, such as traditions, holidays, and social norms. This can include activities like cooking traditional dishes, celebrating cultural events, or analyzing literature and media from different cultures. By exploring these aspects, students gain a deeper understanding of the language and its cultural nuances, which enhances their overall language acquisition.
How do you support students who struggle with language learning?
Supporting struggling students involves patience and tailored interventions. I provide additional resources such as practice worksheets and vocabulary lists to reinforce their learning. One-on-one or small group sessions allow me to offer personalized attention and address specific challenges. I also encourage a growth mindset, helping students understand that language learning is a process that requires persistence. Regular check-ins to monitor their progress and celebrate small successes can significantly boost their confidence and motivation.
What strategies do you use to teach grammar effectively?
To teach grammar effectively, I focus on contextualized learning rather than rote memorization. I present grammar rules within meaningful contexts, using real-life examples and texts. Interactive activities such as role plays and grammar games make the learning process enjoyable. I also encourage students to practice grammar in their writing and speaking activities, providing constructive feedback along the way. This approach helps students understand the practical applications of grammar in communication.
How do you prepare for a new school year or term?
Preparing for a new school year involves thorough planning and organization. I start by reviewing the curriculum and setting clear learning objectives for my students. I gather resources such as textbooks, supplementary materials, and technology tools to support my lessons. Additionally, I create a detailed syllabus outlining the topics and assessments for the term. I also reflect on previous years, considering what worked well and what could be improved to continuously enhance my teaching practices.
What are your goals as a teacher?
My goals as a teacher include fostering a love for the English language, helping students develop effective communication skills, and preparing them for real-world interactions. I aim to create a supportive and inclusive classroom environment where all students feel valued and motivated to learn. Additionally, I strive to stay updated on teaching methodologies and educational technology, continuously improving my skills to provide the best possible learning experience for my students.
How do you handle feedback from students and parents?
I view feedback from students and parents as an invaluable resource for improvement. I encourage open communication and invite feedback regularly, whether through surveys, informal conversations, or parent-teacher meetings. When receiving constructive criticism, I reflect on it and consider how I can implement changes to better meet their needs. I also share positive feedback with my students to reinforce their achievements. Building strong relationships with parents enhances collaboration and supports student success.
What do you think are the biggest challenges in teaching English?
One of the biggest challenges in teaching English is addressing the diverse needs and backgrounds of students. Each student comes with unique experiences and varying levels of proficiency, which requires a flexible and adaptive teaching approach. Additionally, some students may have anxiety or lack confidence in speaking, making it difficult for them to participate. To overcome these challenges, I prioritize creating a safe and encouraging environment where mistakes are viewed as opportunities for growth.
How do you stay motivated and passionate about teaching?
I stay motivated and passionate about teaching by continuously seeking professional development opportunities. Attending workshops, conferences, and online courses allows me to learn new techniques and connect with other educators. I also find inspiration in my students' progress and enthusiasm for learning. Witnessing their achievements, whether it's mastering a new concept or improving their communication skills, reinforces my commitment to teaching and fuels my desire to make a positive impact.
How do you handle cultural differences in the classroom?
Handling cultural differences requires sensitivity and openness. I create an inclusive environment where students feel comfortable sharing their backgrounds and perspectives. I incorporate cultural discussions into lessons, encouraging students to explore and appreciate diversity. By fostering mutual respect and understanding, I help students navigate cultural differences and develop intercultural communication skills. This not only enriches the learning experience, but also prepares students for a globalized world.
What do you think is the role of a teacher beyond academic instruction?
The role of a teacher extends beyond academic instruction. It encompasses being a mentor, role model, and advocate for students. Teachers help students develop critical thinking skills, social emotional intelligence, and a sense of responsibility. I strive to create a supportive environment where students feel safe to express themselves and explore their interests. Additionally, I aim to instill values such as respect, perseverance, and empathy, preparing students to be well-rounded individuals in society.
How do you integrate speaking and listening skills in your lessons?
I integrate speaking and listening skills through interactive activities that promote communication. I use role-playing, discussions, and debates to encourage students to express their opinions and ideas. Listening activities such as audio clips and videos help students develop comprehension skills. I also incorporate pair and group work where students practice speaking in a supportive environment. Providing constructive feedback on their speaking and listening skills is essential for their ongoing development.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself continuing to grow as an educator, potentially taking on leadership roles within the school, such as a curriculum coordinator or mentor for new teachers. I am also interested in pursuing further professional development, possibly obtaining a master's degree in education or linguistics. My ultimate goal is to contribute to the development of innovative teaching practices and inspire a new generation of language learners.
That's all I wanted to share in this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found these tips helpful as you prepare for your next project management interview. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one. Good luck with your interview.